Why would you want to commit? You know, be like George Clooney, be like freaking these players, be like freaking Dan Bilzerian, be like Hugh Hefner, be like Leonardo DiCaprio, right? Go around and sleep with all these women first, and then, you know, whenever you want to, go settle down, right? But therein lies the problem, guys. Yeah. It doesn't go towards the truth. So when you're just going around and using your quote-unquote high values, which you do have, but not for the purpose of the truth, you're not going to be looked at as high value, right? Because women inherently know, right, even if they're maybe not keen on the truth, they're going to inherently know that you're not going to commit to them. And if you're not going to commit to them, they're going to question your value. Yep. So who cares if your values are high if you're not going to commit those values to me? And we're back with another episode of His and Hers.
Yes,
my name is Tuan. This is my inspirational wife.
Sim, nice meeting everyone again. Thank you for loyal I can't even talk.
Loyal
viewers and welcome new viewers.
Yes, thank you.
It's one of those days.
Thank you for joining us on this another video, guys. Right, guys. While you're here, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Right, stop shadow watching out there. Stop hiding in the shadows. Right, we can see you guys. Right, so if you guys have been watching us in the back, right, hit that subscribe button. Okay, turn on the notification bell. Right, share and comment.
Yes.
Check our channel over at TikTok at His and Hers YT. And speaking of sharing, honey, right, guys, share the truth, right, and debunk the lies, right?
Yep.
The truth, once again, guys, I'm going to start repeating it on every video, is about having your biological kids, right, your own biological kids, and having the best outcome for them, right?
Yes.
So that's the purpose. Yes. That's the goal. Okay, guys? Hey, we're going to be reacting to another video today, honey, and it's going to be a fresh and fit video that they had with @Sneako. Okay, and the title of the video is @Sneako explained why Western women are a lost cause. Okay, so let's begin.
It's a thing because all of you are on Instagram, all of you are on TikTok all day long. All of you listen to City Girls and Meg Thee Stallion and listen to Cardi B, and you worship these like Kim Kardashian type girls who are just professional hoes. And you thought that those are high value women, but really all of them are just bad wives. And you don't really know what's going to make a good wife anymore, what's going to make a good feminine woman anymore, because that's seen as oppressive. And feminism has done that and has brainwashed all of you.
Why do you believe you're a high-class man?
Men became more feminine, and as a result, women became more masculine?
Thank you, Sam. That's the part. They're trying to feminize men and masculinize women, and we're seeing it live on this podcast.
But it all, the main antagonist in all this was feminism, though, because what feminism basically did was tell women that men and women are the same and we're equal,
and we're not.
And we're not. I mean, no offense to Miss Red Dress over there, but she said something along, we can both be CEOs. Well, that's the mindset that many modern day women have. That is not true.
Work out for me, girl.
You cannot have two bosses. It doesn't work that way.
But you had a millionaire and you do lashes.
Who said that?
But like, no, I'm just saying, like, if there, it's not two.
No, but she's telling you that she tried to be masculine and failed.
I'm not
fucked her up
financially, baby girl.
That's what she's saying. She's saying like she tried to be masculine and it fucked her up. Is what she's trying to say.
Now,
I feel like my fiance and I right now are equals. And
thank you. So yeah, honey. So obviously, Sneako's first comment, right, is that social media. Yep. Obviously, feminism was the original ideology that started all this, right? But the platform, the channel, the avenue at which it unfortunately it spread rampant was, our technology at this day and age, right? Where social media can spread it so fast nowadays,
very
right?
fast.
And then obviously it could spin a narrative. And so it spun this narrative of all these people that he was talking about, right? All these bad examples.
Which we have already talked about in most of our channels.
We have talked about, right?
Yes.
And let's discuss that real quick, honey. So, and then of course, real quick, before we get into the other conversation that they had right after that was, you notice how this girl right away said, what makes you a high-value man? So what is your initial thoughts about that, honey, before I make my comments? So what do you think his comments about, social media affecting women and their ideology, right? And then, of course, feminism and...
Well, it just shows she doesn't really know the real truth. I mean, if she knew the truth, he is a high-value man. Okay, his podcast is up there. He makes good money. He's decently tall.
Yeah, he's 6'3".
Yeah, he is like not ugly. He's good looking still.
Former model.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So what do you, he doesn't make a high value man. So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, wake up and smell the dang coffee. Have you checked yourself? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, if you knew what value of a woman role are and a man's role are, he is a high value man.
Okay. No, you're right. You're right. But I'm going to say something right now that's going to give meaning to both sides, or I guess let's say give a valid argument to both sides.
Yep.
Right. Let's start with his comment. 100% right. Right. Because of feminism, and once again, guys, we're looking at it from the truth. Right. So feminism, why it was such a detriment to marriage, to the nuclear family, is because it equated men and women on a human value. Once again, right, guys, we're equal in human value, right? No one deserves to not have a chance for life. No one deserves to not, be killed, right? That type of aspect, right? Treat with basic courtesy, right? That type of value, right? But when it comes to the truth values, we are different. And so what happened is when you start equating the truth values as being the same, right? That's why you can look at a person like Meg Thee Stallion or all these 304s, Kim Kardashian, and you get confused because you're saying, well, they slept around, but aren't we equal like a man? Just because they slept around and their human value is the same, right? Why can't they sleep the same as a man's value?
Well, let me say something on that one. If they are so equal in that, in that area, how come none of them can hold a man?
Because the
there
truth
you go. The truth
values.
is.
I told you guys, all these answers, all these debates can be answered by the truth. Okay, so that's one, right? And then, of course, we had this social media platform that was spreading these lies.
Yep.
Right? And then, of course, it came up with the big lie, which is, hey, if you're able to get sexual attraction from the man and he's willing to give his resources, not the commitment, but at least give you money and flew you out and buy these nice stuff for you, right?
Yep.
Then your value is high in this truth. Right, which we know is capped because you got to bring all your values and commit all those values to get the truth, right? No longer are they thinking about the kid, the outcome, right? Oh, I'm just getting banged, I'm getting sex, and he's giving me money. Cool, my values are high. No, you haven't made a kid yet, and you guys haven't tried to provide all your values to give the best outcome for this child.
Yep.
So therein lies the fault for the women's side. Okay. Now, let me give you ladies, obviously, the counter argument, right? Because, a lot of the, I'm probably sure there's a lot of women out there is like, Twan's a jerk or whatever because he's always pointing out our flaws, right?
Yep, here we go.
But no, I've mentioned this a lot of time too, but I think it sometimes just gets lost, right? But why women have such an issue with men who are high, quote unquote, high value. Is because the truth, guys. That's why she said, well, what makes you a high value man? And guys, that is a valid complaint. So men, listen up to me here. And I know it might sound, I think nowadays we actually kind of vilify or shame this as well. And what it is men who understand the purpose and are on the path of the truth and on the path of that purpose. Does it make sense? So guys who are on the purpose of like, hey, I'm a high value guy. I'm working towards those values to be high. But I want to find a wife and have children, right? We shame those men now on both sides specifically, but even men specifically I'm talking about, right? We call those guys bitches, right? Oh, you should be just banging a bunch of bitches if you freaking have those values. Why would you want to commit? Be like George Clooney, be like freaking these players, be like freaking Dan Bilzerian, be like Hugh Hefner, be like Leonardo DiCaprio, right? Go around and sleep with all these women first, and then, whenever you want to, go settle down, right? But therein lies the problem, guys. It doesn't go towards the truth. So when you're just going around and using your quote unquote high values, which you do have, but not for the purpose of the truth,
Just your
you're
fun.
not going to be looked at as high value, right? Because women inherently know, right? Even if they're maybe not keen on the truth,
Yep.
they're going to inherently know that you're not going to commit to them. And if you're not going to commit to them, they're going to question your value.
Yep.
So who cares if your values are high if you're not going to commit those values to me?
True that.
So that's why these women will always lash back at them. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, these ladies, they don't know that. I guarantee they don't know that. So they just think about it from a human value aspect, right? The feminist lie. But I'm letting you guys know out there. That's the reason why I call guys like Andrew Tate not on the purpose. Do I call these guys not high value men? No, they're high value men. The problem, though, is when you don't have the purpose, you're going to continue to get looked out from a negative standpoint.
Yep.
You're going to continue being, quote unquote, shamed by the opposite side because you're not using your value for the truth.
And if you look at our other videos, value is just not always about money. Okay? Right. We use Paul Allen as a thing. We use Will Smith. They have clout. They have finance, but they don't have all the rest. Because Paul Allen does, and Paul Allen, look at him. If you want to Google, look at Paul Allen. He has billions of dollars, but he left the world without an heir, without any legacy, anyone to pass it down to. Okay? He passed it down to his sister and her kids. But what is it that you're working so hard for? If you're working towards all these money and these fame and whatever else and to get recognition, right? What is it you guys are working hard for?
So
you need a legacy. You need the truth, which is the best outcome for your bloodline, your biological blood. Okay, that's why we're not on this channel to diss the women. We're not here to diss the man. We need to work together.
We're exposing the truth.
Yes, to expose the truth of being together for your best outcome, your line to continue as an example.
So I'm not here to shame those guys that just said that, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to point out to you is argue with the truth. If women come up to you and say, hey, you're not a high value guy, right? What makes you high value?
Yep.
Tell them, hey, the reason why my values are high because my fitness value is high.
Yep.
My finance value is high. My status and fame value is high. And please, I know my purpose. I know eventually I need to marry, have a kid, and give the best outcome for the kid. But you know what? I don't want to do it right now. And I don't have to do it right now. That's all you have to say, and you'll shut that argument down. Right? Don't sugarcoat it. Don't be like, oh, well, I haven't found the right one. Or, oh, my God, ladies nowadays, they're so hard to find a good wife. No, just stop. Just say, hey, you know what? I'm a high-value man. Bam, I'm a high-value man. I understand the truth. Ultimately, I'm going to have a wife and I'm going to have a kid. But right now, I don't got to do it.
I'm just not ready.
That's
it.
Or I don't want to. I know that's the truth, but I don't need to and I don't want to. That's all you got to have to say.
Yep.
And none of these women can question. Shoot, I can't even question you. Now, don't get me wrong. I will say one thing before we continue, honey. Then don't call yourself alpha then. We need to clearly define these terms, right?
Yep.
Once again, alpha is a complete product. It is a product that is ready for the market and has actually proven itself to be ready for the market. That means it's done its thing.
Yeah.
It's done. It's set out and it's accomplished its goal that it was set out to design to be. So unless you've become married and unless you've had children, unless you've had the best outcome for your children, do not call yourself alpha and do not quit making these claims of an alpha person, female or male, without having those objectives.
You are not a complete
until you've actually
item.
Earned that title. Is what I'm trying to say, right? So if you're not married and you don't have a kid, you haven't had a successful marriage, and you haven't raised successful freaking outcome, don't call yourself alpha.
You're not alpha.
Okay? So.
And like that,
it's gonna fail.
He doesn't ask me for a single dime. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like. Okay. I don't know. There could be two CEOs, and it could be a good ass relationship.
I think that works.
Well, I
feel like a man has a certain needs that work for certain people.
I think the fact that you think that you and your man are equal speaks volumes that we don't even necessarily need to go into. Because when a woman is with a man that she truly admires, loves, and respects, she understands that she is not the same as her man. I would argue most women don't look for an equal; they look for a superior.
They want to
And in
admire
your
their
case,
man.
you don't have a superior, which is why you're able to kind of do the things that you do.
But I think it's because
And you know it too. I can see you nodding alongside. You know that your guy's more equal to you, which allows you to kind of get away with some of the things you do. Which traditionally most guys will not like a girl to do the things that you're doing.
No.
So
But he doesn't have a choice because you wear the pants.
So he's insecure, and I wear the
Yes.
pants if I keep going out
Yes.
and have an OnlyFans.
Yes.
And post on my Instagram.
Yes.
Oh my God. So your girlfriend can have an Instagram. You don't want a
we
girlfriend
never
with an
said
Instagram.
that. But what I'm saying is that if you're in a serious relationship with a guy and you post provocative photos of yourself, advertising yourself, that is disrespectful to the man, and most men would not prefer
because
that.
now
Putting a
they're
giant
starting to go
force-
for women's value. So, honey, what do you think, real quick, of like, she's saying, well, we can both be CEOs, right? We can both bring this value of finance, right? And so that relationship can work. And then Myron is saying, like, no, you want a superior, right? You want a man that's taller than you. You want a man that's bigger. Because I hear this argument all the time. I watch Fresh and Fit to know that that's their counter argument to that comment, where they'll always say men and women are not equal, right? A man is superior. And it triggers the women, right? Because when he says that, he says, a man is better than you, right? What is your initial thoughts about
Well, we
this?
are talking in some of our former channels that it's not the woman's value to do all that because we cannot handle all that stress.
Yeah.
Think about that, woman. There cannot be two leaders in a house because it's a man's job to lead. It's a man's value to bring the money into the relationship. For an example, there are two CEOs, right? You both make a lot of money, but you're never there together. You're always going to, argue. You're not spending the time. She's going to be stressing about work. She's not going to try to find time, a commitment to make time for her husband because they're both work,
Yeah.
all that stuff. Women, I'm sorry to say, we cannot handle a lot of stress like men can do.
Yeah. And that comes down, once again,
That's not one of our values to bring
There
all
you
that
go.
money. A billionaire does not care that his wife brings in a few $1,000s extra more. I'm sorry to say that's not one of your values.
He honestly doesn't
does
even
not care.
if you were a billionaire yourself.
Yeah, he doesn't.
That's the truth. So once again, guys, it comes down to the truth and which values you're supposed to bring. Women are not supposed to bring finance. You're not supposed to bring the status and the fame. Now, this is where, once again, because we don't understand the truth, we keep having these wrong arguments. We keep having these wrong statements, right? It's not that you want a superior in terms of your human values, or it's not that you want a superior in your values.
Yeah.
See, that's why like women get triggered by Myron's statement, and I understand. I it's not that I disagree with Myron. It's that he's not explaining it right in the context of the truth.
Yep.
You don't want a superior in your values. You want a superior in his values. Hence, that's what not makes him your superior. Okay, let me repeat that and let me clarify. Meaning that you want a man who's high in his values.
Yep.
But because he's high in his values doesn't make him a superior to you because your values are different.
Yep.
That would be saying like, oh, then a man that brings in a high femininity and acts like a female and dresses like a female and kept his virginity low, right? Like kept his body count low, he would be superior to you.
No.
How stupid does that sound? Does that make sense? Right? So you want a man who's high value in his values, right? And what he wants in return is a woman who's high in her values. Okay? And so that's what makes you superior on each end.
Yep.
Superior in the women's values and superior in a man's values. And when you bring them both together, you have the best outcome for the truth.
Yep.
That's what we want. Okay? So it's not that we want to be superior to you, ladies. We just want to be our values high. And we want you to acknowledge that our values are high.
Think of it this way, women. You don't really want to marry a man that has a sissy sort of attitude.
100%.
Okay, well, you don't. You want a man to be a man, just like us. Just like the man wants a woman to be a woman. Why would he want, if he's a heterosexual, married to another man?
Correct.
I mean, think about that.
Or even married to a woman
that acts
who
like
acts
a man.
like a man.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, act like a man. I don't even care if you're gay or lesbian. It's always one or the other that acts more feminine, more manly, right, honey? We see that all the time.
Correct.
Whether you're butch, your haircut is like a man and whatever else, there's always one person in the relationship that's more, a little bit more, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you can see that already in that kind of relationship out in the open, now think of the person. If a man wants to marry a woman, he wants a straight woman. Act like a woman.
Yeah.
Play her roles, her values. Like you want to marry a man that plays his value. Is he like strong? Is he, taking care of himself? Is he bringing the finance in? He has to do his job. That's what we're trying to tell you here.
Well,
that's a role.
My wife literally just broke it down once again to you guys. But what I'm trying to get you guys to understand and not confuse is that doesn't make him superior to you. That just makes him a superior man to other men.
Yes.
Hence, you want him. That's why. So same thing. If you were a superior woman compared to other women, he would want you in return. So think about it. So don't use the men's values as your values. Just like we said earlier, that it would be ridiculous to use the women's values on the man and think of him as a superior man if you put the women's values on him.
Nope.
All right? So, guys, like I said, just focus on the truth and then quit having these wrong debates, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's continue.
Sale sign on your forehead.
Yeah, with their main chick, at least.
So you would date a girl with an Instagram that was like calm, like PG. Like,
You just to be honest, you want to know what guys like to hear from when they talk to girls? I'll
No
give you guys some
Instagram.
game right now. I like to hear things like, I don't travel. I've never been here before. Oh, my Instagram, I don't really post on it. I'm gonna deactivate it, or they don't even have one, or they don't have a social media presence at all. Men prefer, especially guys that have status, girls that have zero status and aren't out there. Newsflash, guys don't want girls that are out and about and have status like women like in men. You guys find that attractive because when a guy's out and about, whatever, it shows social status, it shows pre-selection, it shows social proof. But for a man doesn't need to verify a woman's social proof to be attracted to her. That's the key difference. If I find a girl attractive at the club, I think she's attractive. I don't give a fuck what my friends think. If you find a guy at the club and you think he's attractive, you're still going to run it by your girlfriends and see what they think.
Yeah.
Right.
Women, this is why I always say women are not independent thinkers when it comes to mate selection at all.
No.
They need to get verification from other women.
I disagree.
I don't
You
Because-
disagree?
I agree.
Yeah,
I think
because,
it's
like,
true.
think
Hold on.
about
You disagree?
Yes.
Real quick, when you go to the club, where do you go?
When I go to the club, where do I go? Like
Where are you sitting at the club when you're at the club?
at a table with
Okay,
my
hold on,
girls.
stop. Who are you sitting at the table with?
With my girls.
With your girls. Who paid for that table?
Oh.
Maybe one of us, maybe all of us.
It's so you go to the club and you pay for the club every single time you go there with your own section. Let's keep it 1,000.
I feel like I don't even go to the club that much.
Oh,
to be
here we
like,
go
oh
now.
my God.
See, she sees where I'm going with this. This proves my point. When girls go to the club, you go in a nightclub, where are all the women concentrated? In the VIP.
Yeah.
A minority of men, a majority of women. So you could say what you want to say, but women are attracted to men that have social proof and have options and can act on it. That's why girls want to go in the sections, because it's a social status thing. Women need to see that social proof.
So when you're out and about, right,
Go ahead.
and
Yeah.
you see an attractive woman, you're like, oh my God, I'm.
So, honey, what do you think about that? Because there was a lot of truth there that I really can't pick apart per se. But once again, there needs to be some clarification. So, what is your initial thoughts about how, women need the social proof and men don't really need the social proof? And of course, women that are constantly on the Instagram and on social media and trying to get that attention, right? Most men will look at that as red flags, in essence. What do you think about that?
Most of the time, women, they want acceptance. They want acceptance. They want to fit in. Just say fit in a way. Like when you go, just like what he said, like the women at the club, like the women at the club and everything else, like when she goes to a club, right? If she sees, even the guy's not that decently good looking or whatever else, but he sees a swarm of women around him or whatever else, she wants to go see it. She wants to check out, oh, he must have, something. Women just wants to fit in and feel accepted.
Understood. Yeah.
That's what I think.
There's definitely a validation factor that women need. And it has to come down to because your values are more internal than external, right? Your values are internal in the sense that they don't get rewarded with external rewards, right? If a man busts his butt and works hard, he gets a resource, he gets money, right? He gains, if he goes out and conquers whatever, he gains status and gains fame, right?
Yep.
A woman who's feminine and nurturing and caring, I mean, she might get a reward of that, that kindness and that love that she expresses to someone else, but it's not really in your face, right? So there's something to be said about, the RP community when they say, a woman's value is validated by the men's attraction. So that leads us to this whole social media thing, right?
Yeah.
Where women needs that attention, right? And that validation. However, once again, I want to repeat it because of the big lie, guys, right? The big lie of the sexual validation. That's where we've gone astray, right? We need to focus on the truth. If women, I want to say something right now, because I don't know if I've said it before on other videos, guys, but I've talked about how masculinity and I've talked about how men has been attacked for for a while now, right? For the last 4 or 5 decades, because of this femininity. But the truth also is, guys, is that females have been attacked way before men. And what I mean by that is this feminism movement started with the attack of femininity. This feminism movement started with the attack of women. They've shamed your guys' values. They've shamed what you were supposed to bring to the table, right? And so they said, hey, if you're a beautiful woman and you're feminine, you're nurturing, you're kind, and you've kept yourself body count low, you're weak. What's wrong with you? Right? You're not empowered. You're not a boss babe.
Nope.
You're a slave. Right? They've shamed women to be women. So as much as I understand that men have been attacked, women were attacked first. And now the feminism has just turned on to the rest of. Now that they've controlled the women, I've warned about this in other videos, guys. I told you already that once they've controlled the women already, now they're trying to go towards the men, right? And so the problem with this, it's not even really a problem, but like I said, with the clarification that we need to point out with what Myron's argument about how, men obviously needs to become, and then women are obviously within this group of like the club, right, where you're only with the high value man, right? Yep. And they need this social proof. It's because the truth is no longer
valid
known, right? Ladies, one, you've been shamed of being women. You've been freaking vilified to be women.
Yeah.
And now you've been lied to as far as what is the goal, what is the purpose, what is the truth. And so now the only way you have any idea of what makes a man a high value man, like what Myron was saying, well, even women who go out and they see a high value man, they need they need confirmation from their friends. They need social proof from their friends to say, okay, yeah, no, this guy is cool. Go ahead and date him, right?
Yeah.
In essence, you guys are not individual thought thinkers, right? Well, yes, there is a biological reason for that, right? Because you are the weaker gender. So you need to be more of a hive mind mentality to survive, right? But the key, guys, is the truth is no longer known, right? And so now as a woman, you're like, well, I've been told my whole life that beauty doesn't matter. I've been told my whole life that femininity is weak, right? It's actually not the right thing to be because I will be treated like a slave. I'll be treated as, someone's going to take advantage of me. And yes, they've been trying to control my sex this whole time, right? Men have used my, my fidelity against me, right? And they've been trying to control my fidelity. So now I have it. I have full control and I can give it out to wherever I want to. In essence, I can devalue myself with no consequence.
Well, think of it, okay, this way, women. Okay, who are you enslaving more? Who are you enslaving more? The man who put that ring on your finger, the man that's working his butt off day and night to put a roof over your head, to provide for your kids and everything. You call that enslaving? No, it isn't. You know that men die earlier than us women? Do you guys know that?
They know it.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
So who is enslaving more?
Yeah.
Okay, the man is working his butt off day and night. And all you got to do is cook a few meals, pamper yourself, to look good for yourself and for your man, and taking care of your kids, that is your biological. That is.
We're going on a different topic, honey.
I'm just saying.
No, you're 100% correct, but we're talking about a different topic now. Let me finish my thought about the last topic, which is women don't understand their value now because of this lie, is what I'm trying to say, right? And so this whole start is because women don't understand their value. And so when it comes to Myron saying like, oh, women need validation from other women, he's right, but we need some clarification. The reason why is majority, I would say goddamn near all women nowadays, don't understand the values that they were supposed to bring to the table because of this feminism lie.
I know.
Okay? And so because you don't know that, that's where you need validation from other women to tell you, oh, this is the right thing. And this is why you guys have such a hard time choosing the right men, right? Because you guys think the values are this and that when it's not.
Nope.
If you guys clearly understood your values, and of course you guys clearly understood his values because you guys understood the truth, there wouldn't be any of this confusion. Okay?
Can we use someone as an example right now?
Yeah.
And everybody would know? Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Okay? She needs validation all the dang time.
Yeah.
Right? She need to be validated. She's got the clout. She's got the fame. She's got whatever else. How come? Now look at her. She got her man, Ben Affleck, but he's not. I'm sorry to say.
Well,
I don't know.
The problem is she needs validation. The women who are in this mindset, and the majority
She
of
doesn't
women
know the truth.
who's been lied to the feminism lie,
No.
right? The reason why you guys continue looking for validation is because you guys are seeking the wrong validation.
Yep. She is.
Right? You're seeking the wrong validation because you're bringing values that you think are the right values.
But they're not.
So you're never going to get validated because you're bringing the wrong values.
Yep.
And so you're continually going to seek for validation because you're going to say, well, I'm bringing these quote unquote supposed values that make me high, but no one's giving me this commitment that I am supposed to get, the outcome, the truth, the commitment, right? Like my wife was saying, the enslavement of the man to me, right? So who's got the worst enslavement?
There you
but
go.
because you cannot get it, you continue seeking the wrong validation. Okay, guys?
I'm gonna go and talk to her, and you're like really hitting it off.
Yeah.
But turns out she's a CEO of a company and she's a boss bitch. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna still smash.
Oh shit.
I'll still smash, but she's not.
Hold on. Did you not just hear anything I just said a second
No, she
ago?
didn't.
That men don't need verification from their own gender to find a woman attractive?
I don't think we do either.
Did you not hear that?
No, but I'm saying like if you find out that she is a CEO boss bitch, that's gonna turn you off. You're gonna be like, damn, she's a man now.
I think the problem with
Here's the
being
thing.
a
Her
CEO
job doesn't matter. However, I'm going to know her job before she even tells me because of her mannerisms and how she acts.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, even though, like, you guys saying, oh, I can be feminine and I can be a CEO, like, it's really unrealistic because, yes, you're gonna be, like, okay, you bring the feminine energy home, say that, but as soon as he gets on your nerve, as soon as you get mad, that masculine is going to pop out eventually. There's no way that you can run from it.
You make it
Even
sense.
though you
Yep.
separate it from, oh, I'm only masculine at home, but I bring my feminine energy. Oh, I'm only masculine at my job, but I bring my feminine energy at home.
Yeah.
That's only when
cap.
he's doing exactly what he needs to do. When he's the perfect in your eyes, when he's not rocking your boat. As soon as he doesn't take out the trash in time, as soon as he doesn't take the dog on a walk, as soon as he doesn't do something to your liking when you need it to be, that masculine is going to pop out. As soon as
That's if you're dating somebody versus a man.
Let's be very clear.
She's right.
No, but she's right. She's right. Like, the mask will crack. Like, you
She's
can
right.
play the game a little bit, which is why we tell guys vet a girl for a year. Like, you date her for a year, and so you can see all the sides, because girls will be chameleons and act like a feminine, submissive woman to get the ring or the relationship or whatever it may be. But you need to vet them for a long period of time to see where they really stand and see if they're the real deal. And yes, the reason why I say that is exactly what she said. Girls will play the game or whatever. But going back to what you said about a CEO boss bitch, let me make this extremely clear for the women. It's not your title that turns the guy off. It's the mannerisms and the way you act and behave because of the job that you have. Do you understand this? That when you're a go-getter and you make a lot of money, it comes with inherent traits. If you look at millionaires, there's universal traits that millionaires have, okay?
So what do you think about that last thing, honey?
That's
Just
true.
obviously being a boss babe, the mannerisms that come with it. What are your thoughts about that?
It is. Because, once you get all that stress and stuff as a woman, you have to act tough, almost act like a man. You become almost masculine. And that turns, and sorry to say, that turns your husband off.
Yeah.
That turns your husband off.
Yeah. There's a couple other things too besides just that attitude, guys. There's going to be a lot of pragmatic reasons why it's not going to work, right? One, you're going to be stressed out of work.
Yeah.
We all know that, guys. Work is stress. I mean, it's not a rocket science,
Yeah.
It's not a secret, right?
Yep.
So both people come home from stress, right? Last thing you want is to have to do the dishes. Last thing you want is to have to do other chores, right? And so when two people come home and now it's like, well, who has to do that? Who has to do that? That's where then it's going to be like, well, I worked a hard day today, right? Well, no, I worked a hard day today, Well, I make more money than you. Well, no, I make more money.
Yeah.
See, that's where these pragmatic reasons come along, right? And once again, guys, why? It's because of the truth, right? It's because of the truth. When you have to, unfortunately, bring the same values now, and instead of bringing both values, right?
Yep.
Would it be so much better, right, if your man came home from a hard days of work and all that stuff was done already because you were already at home doing that aspect?
Yep.
No one's arguing. Does that make sense? And then the counter argument to with me is obviously, I know a lot of feminists are going to say, well, Twan, why can't the woman go to work and then the man comes home and then he can do that, right? Well, the house is already clean already and she comes home from a bad day of work.
Nope.
It's because now it comes back to what my wife just
Does
said,
not.
right? How are you going to take care of yourself if you're stuck all day at work, right? Are you actually going to be feminine, or are you going to come home and be like, oh my God, I had such a hard day at work.
Nope.
I'm not sexually, attracted right now. I just want to sit in front of the TV and kick back and drink a few cold ones, right? Does that sound feminine to you at all, right?
Can I say another important thing? Your child is not going to respect the father most of the time.
Correct.
Because you know what? He's going to see other couples, a complete package, family, right? The husband's going to be the one who's working a lot of hours. The dad is away working a lot of hours. Here, the mom stays home, or at least most of the time, 80, 90%, she's with the kids.
Yeah.
You think your child is going to respect the dad afterwards? I don't think so. That's another important thing.
There is about that, guys. My wife is definitely right about that. But just the person who can do it better, right? And also the values, right? Guys, it always comes back to this, You bring the fidelity. The man doesn't bring fidelity. So you going and having a hard day at work, him and you coming home and he has the house clean, how does he reward you? It's not by giving you D, right? That's not the outcome that most women want when they've had to bring in the money.
Yeah.
And so that's why, ladies, don't cap to us, right? Like, this is the reason why women who think that they can do this and freaking, well, he can come home and he can give me the sex. You guys understand that your fidelity is your value that you're supposed to bring to the table. It's more valuable than his fidelity.
Yep.
Hence why men don't bring fidelity. So that's the reason why it's not a fair trade.
Yeah.
So then you're not going to respect that man.
Yeah.
And when you don't respect that man, your kids are going to see
Yep.
that you don't respect
Yep.
that man, and they're not going to respect him either. And so that's the point. The values are not there. They're not equal because you're bringing his values that he's supposed to bring, and now he's having to bring your values that you're supposed to bring.
Yep.
So the either party is not bringing the correct values. And regardless of whether you can do it or not, it's not the level of which it's supposed to be. It's like me trying to play basketball when you'd much rather have freaking LeBron, Kobe, someone else play basketball. Yeah, I can play basketball. I can do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not the best person suited to do the job.
Are you as good? No, you're not.
No one's going to come and watch me
Nope.
play. That's the reason why
Nope.
the WNBA sucks, right, guys? We talk about how women don't, as much as women cap and say, WNBA, the soccer's women league needs to get paid the same as men. No one watches your guys' crap, right? Because the performance is not there. So as much as you guys can do it, doesn't mean it's to the level that people want it done
watch.
at,
Yes.
right? And once again, the truth don't care about the feelings or the niceness or the fact that, I'm happy that I can do it, or I'm happy that you can do it. It's the outcome. Who can do it best?
Yes.
Who gives the best results? And that's all they care about.
Yep. And if you see a woman out there watching, let us know. How is your marriage coming along? And if you had kids. Because you know what? To get to that level, I understand you guys worked hard to climb that ladder. But is your marriage, is it rocky? Is it happy? I mean, are your kids like respect, you know what I mean? Like, are your kids okay with everything? I mean, trust me, behind doors, you might look good at your level. But behind doors, I know you guys have a lot of stress, a lot of things. I had friends that were up in the, little ladder thing. But guess what? Their marriage isn't that, it's a little rocky. Because you know why? She's not really there. She's not trying to make herself look good. She's carrying that stress load. She's doing this. And the husband has to do the rest of the stuff.
And
Think about it. It does not work out. We know, right?
Yeah. It's
Ask
all
my
cap.
husband.
It's all cap. You guys all lie to
It
yourself
isn't.
and each other and just say, oh, well, we're happy with who we are, but you guys aren't happy.
You guys have roles. And this is where our channel is. As a married person, you have your roles. And women has a certain value. A man has a certain value.
And who can give the best outcome?
There you go.
That's the truth.
That's it.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Have a good one. Bye.